Ankit, good evening. You can hear me, you can see me properly.
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. You're audible. Thank you for joining in and
Thank you.
congratulations. Congratulations, Ankit.
Thank you, sir.
I remember, I think हम लोगों ने last time interaction किया था, right? Before your examination.
Sir, I have been your student since 2019, sir, from the foundation batch when Edukemy was
Okay.
not even there, sir.
Hi, all of you. Good evening. We have with us one of 2023-24's IAS topper, Ankit Agrawal. This year, he has got rank 297 and he has got very good marks in some of the papers. And I'm actually surprised because some of these papers have not done very well in this year's GS examination marks. But he has got extraordinary marks in GS paper 2, 120 plus, which is a very, very rare score. He has scored 125 in ethics paper. Again, not an easy paper to score, although 115 is possible, 125 is not a regular score. And he has scored 281 in geography optional. A lot of students are always concerned about optional marks. We'll ask him some of his strategies. Before that, Ankit, congratulations to you. I think this is one of great achievements in your preparation process, in your career, in life. So my heartiest congratulations from me, from my team, and from Edukemy, Ankit.
Thank you so much, sir.
पहले तो बताओ how was the feeling when you heard the marks, when you got the rank? What was your feeling? What was the reaction for the first time?
Sir, when I first saw my name in the PDF, I went and informed my parents and I couldn't control my emotions, so I cried a bit. But after that, like it took me 2 to 3 days to sink in that I have cleared it finally in my fourth attempt. And it was my second interview also. So there was a fear that it might happen like last year, where I'm disappointed after the results.
This was your fourth attempt.
Yes, sir.
So what did not go right with you in the first attempts, in the earlier attempts?
Sir, in the first attempt, I couldn't clear prelims by one marks. So there was some problem in strategy and practicing of mock tests in prelims.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, in second attempt, my score in optional was very low. So I scored around 227 marks in geography. So that year, I couldn't clear mains by around 20 marks. So in third attempt, I gave major time to optional and I practiced a lot of PYQs. So that year, I got 265 marks in the optional, where paper 1 was 121 and paper 2 was 144, sir.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir. And sir, in this attempt, I majorly focused on GS papers, specifically GS2 and GS4, and optional paper 1, because of which my marks increased in paper 1 to 141 this year. And in GS2, I increased by 30 marks. So last year, it was around 90 in GS2. And
this time, paper 2 has not seen much marks.
Yes,
I've seen the score sheets. Most people have not done very well. So
yes,
what
sir.
exactly did you do in GS paper 2? How come you got 120 marks? Very good marks.
So, sir, I remember in first mains, in my second attempt, I got 112 that year, which was a decent score for that year. And in second mains, my marks dropped to around 90 marks. So I analyzed where did I go wrong in second mains. So I realized I did not use a lot of articles, Supreme Court cases, committee recommendations, and I did not do 10 markers properly last time.
Okay.
This year I balanced it out. I used to write 3 15 markers and two 10 markers in like around 45-50 minutes. And I used lot of Supreme Court cases and committee recommendation this year.
Paper 2 GS and paper 3 GS. These are two very applied areas. Disaster management, social justice, talking about problems of international relations. It's very applied in nature.
Yes, sir.
So did you use this to your advantage? I can see your marks looks like you're good with these kind of topics.
Sir, so in geography, we use lot of case studies and regional approach. So I
Yes.
use that approach in social justice and environment and disaster management part of GS3, and in fact in security also. So it helped me to
Case studies.
case studies and regional approach. Like I used to think from region's perspective. Like in this
Okay.
region, this problem is there. In this region, this problem is there. And region specific solution I used to write in my answers.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it diversified my content in any
That's
answer.
exactly what I mean by applied approach.
Yes, sir.
Where don't talk in general, but talk in reference to one place, one location, one event, maybe. That's what you're referring to, I believe.
Yes, sir. And in GS2 also, for example, there were some questions where there was lot of scope to make maps.
Maps, okay.
And one question was there related to IMO. So there also I used lot of my geography knowledge. So I
Okay.
think that helped me in such uncertain questions in GS
If I do
paper.
not know what you think, but I have a strong feeling that geography has a very good overlap with the entire GS paper.
Yes, sir.
GS1, GS2, GS3, and you can also use a lot of case studies in GS for ethics also.
Yes, sir.
So, have you done this approach? Have you used geography across the papers in that case?
Yes, sir. For example, in Panchayati Raj question, there was a question related to Panchayati Raj in GS paper 2. So there is
Okay,
a regional development and planning in optional paper. So there we study multi-level planning and Panchayati Raj and development. So I used one of the case study which I prepared for optional paper 2 in GS paper 2 in 10 marker.
okay.
Yes.
That way you are able to In fact, this is true for many optionals, not just geography.
Yes.
I encourage students that you must use the knowledge of optional, be it sociology, be it PSIR, be it your topics related to economy, whatever. So what
Yes.
you do in optional should be used in GS paper without using too many jargons of that subject, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so congratulations there. Now, Ankit, you have taken 4 attempts. You tell us, first attempt it was not prelims, second
Yes.
attempts then you got trapped in the mains, third attempt you cleared the mains interview and you didn't do well there. So
Yes.
looking back, so if a student wants to qualify in the first attempt or maybe maximum second attempt, if it
Yes.
was you, what would you do, say from scratch? How would you go about so that in the first attempt or maximum second attempt you can qualify? What will be your strategy there?
Sir, I think a lot of hard work is required in the exam. That is for sure. But apart from that, also there are a lot of things a candidate needs to know. For example, I have after failing in prelims in first attempt, I have been clearing IFOS cutoff every year in prelims. So I realized without even studying much, because of the strategy and because of the support of mentors, I was able to mold my mind like that ki I'm scoring above 100 in prelims. So I
Mhm.
think strategizing and taking help of mentors is very important. Second, sir, in mains also, one thing I realized when I got an interview call in my last attempt, that optional plays a very major role. If you want to interview call to make it to the final list. For example, this year I scored very low in essays. Still, because of optional, I got into the final list. And last year, GS papers were weak, but still, because of optional, I was able to get an interview call. So, sir, I think we need to have a very good strategy. Uh, and our mentors and our teachers can help us to frame it.
So when you say strategy, what do you mean by step one? What should we be doing? Like I always insist on a strategy where students should do some basic readings and finish all the basic readings before they enter the classrooms. Then probably while they are in the classrooms, they should be focused more on the notes consolidation.
Yes, sir.
I feel one of the mistakes students do is they do not do the PYQs properly. That's
Yes,
my understanding. So if I
yes.
asked you, Ankit, what should be strategy? Say somebody is preparing for, say 2026, 25 is a bit too near. So how will you recommend? What should you do as step one, step two, step three, and so on?
Sir, first thing is to complete the syllabus properly. Uh,
Okay.
then I think going to the syllabus, looking at each and every topic in the syllabus, we need to have at least 2-page notes for that, for
Okay.
each topic. And then, sir, as you told us in our first attempt when in 2019, I used to make summary sheets. So
Synopsis writing.
synopsis. So in the sheet there was 3 columns, and in each column I used to make for one topic is summarized in one column. So it helps us to
Okay.
revise 2 days before the exam. So that is the consolidation part. And sir, in my third attempt, I started focusing a lot on PYQs and optional, which increased my score from 227 to 265. And in this attempt, I used to solve lot of like daily 7 questions of PYQ for GS.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So
7 questions. Okay.
daily 7 questions I used to write, and I used to self-evaluate those questions,
Okay.
which helped me to do value addition also.
So there is a method. I mean, if I ask you now, is it possible to qualify in the first or second attempt?
Sir, yes, sir. Like if you have covered your syllabus properly, and if you have your notes consolidated into synopsis, and if you have solved PYQs, I think most of the work is done. There are many friends of mine who have cleared it in first mains, first attempt, and like first interview. So, sir, it is possible going by the trend. And I have seen
Okay.
some of my friends scoring 850, 860 marks also in mains, in their first mains.
Wow. Wow. So will it be wrong to say that hard work is important, but you must have a method in the hard work, right?
Sir,
It's
definitely.
not a random hard work.
Yes, sir, definitely.
So what do students miss out in these days? Because content is all there.
Yes.
Uh, Coaching classes offer everything. So
Yes, sir.
what is it the students are missing out? Why are they struggling despite all of this things around them?
Sir, I remember one of your lectures where you said nobody likes to study, nobody likes to write answer, nobody likes to solve PYQ MCQs. So those who will like those who like it, they will clear it. Those who overcome that resistance. So I always kept this thing in my mind, and whenever I got this feeling that ab nahi ho pa raha hai or test nahi, I used to write 2 tests that day.
Okay.
So I think that resistance we have to remove it, sir. So, sir, for example, I was very scared of prelims in my second attempt. So I solved at least 40, 50 mock tests that year.
Okay.
So I used to identify my weak areas and I used to work on them.
Okay. Excellent. So you have to go after tests. You have to practice regularly, make summaries as frequently as possible,
Yes, sir.
and the resistance of not giving enough questions, you have to get over that aspect.
Yes, sir. Sir, like for example, in interview last year, so I was very fearful of facing the panel members, and like my communication was also not very good at that time. So for the like after the results came for mains, I was I avoided mocks for around 1 month. But after that, I started giving lot of mocks. Like I gave around 15 mocks. So,
Okay.
because I identified that it is my weak area, I cannot frame sentence properly. So, if I go and practice in the mock tests, like mock interviews, then I would be able to score a decent score in interview. And by the standard of last year, I scored decent mark last year, like around 180 marks.
Oh, you got 180 last time.
Yes.
Well, that's very good, man. So
Yes.
fundamentally, it's practice, 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 right?
Yes, sir.
Keep at it. How many hours you've studied per day, Ankit, if I may ask? There were common questions students ask us. How many hours a day you study on average?
Sir, I was in a full cycle from last 3 attempts. So once mains gets over, then interview gets over, then prelims. So uh, before mains, I used to study around 10 to 12 hours per day, like between prelims and mains. Uh, before
Okay.
before prelims, I didn't used to get much time because last year my interview was in the last week of May, and the results was also in the last week of May, and the prelims was also in the last week of May. So I got only 3 days. Otherwise, in my first 2 attempts, I used to study at least 8 hours for prelims also.
So
And
it's 8 hours of regular study
yes, sir.
and keeping your concepts very, very strong.
Yes.
And how many times you must have revised your syllabus, Ankit?
Sir, so I have this bad habit. I don't know whether it is a bad habit or not. So I used to make lot of notes and summaries. So in every mains, I have like refined my summaries. I have made new summaries in every mains. So that
Students ask me this question. So how many times we should revise?
yes,
For which I have got no answer. I have got no magic number there. So if
yes,
somebody asks you,
yes.
okay, Ankit sir, how many times should we revise? Because I always forget. I study and I forget. I'm not able to remember. Oh, what should I do, Ankit sir? Let's see what you say then.
Sir, like I think before mains, at least 3 to 4 times revision is very important of whole syllabus, and because it brings
Before mains, as in between your prelims and mains.
yes, sir. I am talking about mains content. So,
Okay.
3 to 4 times revision is important after completing the whole syllabus after prelims also. So it makes
Okay.
at around 4 or 5 revision because, sir, it provides confidence first thing, and second, sir, it helps in time management in the exam. So, because of time management, also I think I was able to improve score in GS this year. So in last year, last attempt, I left around 70 marks, including
70 marks.
7-0,
That's a lot of marks.
despite knowing the answers of those questions.
Your rank would have been and marks would have been very different if you had even given an average answer for those questions.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So when you're saying revision 3, 4 times, what are those tasks? What are those 3, 4, 5 things you do in the name of revision?
Sir, it is different for GS and it is different for optional. So in case of GS, I just revise my consolidated synopsis. And sometimes I practice 1 or 2 answers for from every topic of the syllabus. In case of optional, sometimes I do, sir, reverse engineering, like I make diagrams and then I start labeling them.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And in case of optional, I try to I have this bad habit of doing research. So, for example, in paper two, for every topic, I try to find new case studies, new example, more regional example, which also helps in revision. So it becomes more applied revision.
And that is what I think I call as active learning.
Yes, sir.
You involve yourself in the process, search your own content, search your own after your base is done, not
Yes,
mechanically simply turning pages.
yes, sir.
Okay, good. You have seen, I think I understand what you're trying to tell us there. Acha, now, Ankit, uh, uh, how did you take geography as an optional? That's my
Sir,
subject, so I would like you to talk about it. What was your motivation of
sir,
geography as an optional?
Sir, this is a very interesting thing because when I came to Delhi in my first attempt, uh, I was confused between 3 optionals: PSIR, Anthro, and Geography. So I went through the syllabus of Geography. So in Geography, Paper 1, Section A, it was very difficult to understand those terms of geomorphology and biogeography and perspective. So I went through Paper 2 syllabus. And I felt like it is very familiar, and I come from a very industrial region also, so I had that interest specifically in paper two. So I just went for it, and I didn't know much like what will be there in the geography optional. So as I was saying, one of my friend got selected last year. So we were discussing like, have we made a mistake by taking geography? Because like 4 years back, it was not doing that well, but from last year, it is doing well. So he said to me, I don't know whether geography is good or not, but Shabir sir has generated interest in us regarding the subject.
Okay, okay, fine.
So
So that, okay.
yes. So at the end, sir, it turned out well. Sir, I stick to geography despite it not doing well 4 years back, and now it has started doing well. So I think it was a good decision back then.
So overall, no regrets
No
about your
regret.
attempts and your, okay. How does geography, help student? I mean, is it a subject for everybody? or will you not recommend geography for some kind of students?
Sir, I think the advantage we get by choosing geography is that in GS papers there is huge overlap, and I think personally by studying geography, studying so many books, I generated that habit of reading more and more things, which helped me across the papers. So, and the best, like my favorite topic is perspective in human geography. So, and
Okay.
in that also, I like regional geography paradigm a lot. So, I generated that tendency to read everything from regional perspectives, sir. So, if
Okay.
someone has that both systematic and like one can think analytically, and one can also one is also ready to learn lot of examples, regional examples, then I think geography optional is very well suited to him or her.
Okay. It can be taken up by students otherwise also. That's what
Yes,
I wanted you to think through. Fine. And Ankit, your marks in interview is very good. Personality test, you said you got 180 last time.
yes,
This is also 170 plus.
yes.
So what is it that you have been doing for interview?
Sir, this
What is
year,
it that helps you? And given the fact you told me that you have a lot of fear about talking and expressing yourself, apart from the practice mock, what helped you in interview?
sir, I prepared current affairs like rigorously. I made notes of interview. Like I had around 3 notebooks for current affairs of interview, sir.
Three
So,
notebooks. Okay.
like I prepared it last year because my interview was in the last week, but this year my interview was in the first phase, second week. So this year I didn't get much time for that. Uh,
Okay.
so I prepared a lot of notes. I had peer discussions regarding current affairs, and my DAF was already prepared last year, and I prepared it very extensively, sir. My DAF. So,
Okay.
sir, last year my interview 90% was DAF. This year 100% was current affairs.
So either ways, you were prepared to deal with the questions.
Yes.
Ankit, this strategy that I recommend students that they should do a foundation course first, and then they should go for an advanced course in geography. We call that as enrichment test series.
Yes.
Uh, what is your view about that? Because uh, I personally feel that most students who don't qualify or who struggle is because while they do foundation completely, maybe GS foundation of 1 year and geography optional foundation for 4 5 months or 6 months, but they never get into the advanced content enrichment type of studies. This has been my strategy for the last good 15 16 years. So what is your opinion on this strategy of preparation? Do you think it's right, or do you think we can do something differently? What's your opinion there?
Sir, there are two things to this. One is that geography, like in foundation course, we cannot complete whole syllabus. So there are very technical topics also in geography, which requires enrichment course. Second thing, sir, this is a competition. So we have to be among top 10% of any, like in any optional, you have to be in top 10%. For that, we require like value addition a lot in our answers. So for that also, enrichment programs are very much required. Sir, I have done 2 enrichment programs for geography in last 4 attempts.
So you agree with this approach, right? And this also applies for GS, I hope, or you think differently?
Sir, in GS also it is required because I went through toppers copy last year when I didn't qualify. So I saw there is huge difference in quality of content between my answers and their answers. So I realized I have to find new contents from newspaper because I didn't join any coaching for GS for advanced course. So I tried mining uh, good content from newspapers, from magazines, from online sources. So I think nowadays value addition is must in GS and optional both.
I'm very forceful about students should prepare another 4 5 months with value addition, with answer writing separately, with content, current affair based applications, and not rely on foundational classes alone.
Yes, sir.
So I just want to know what your view is, if that's the approach we should follow, or any modifications you think we should be doing on that.
Sir, we cannot like do value addition without first doing foundation course. So we
Yes.
cannot mix it also. So first we have to have like a very good understanding of basics, and then only we can add like do value addition. For example, now if I read a newspaper, I automatically link it to the syllabus. Like from which topic does this editorial like can get linked? So it creates a lot of interlinkages also. So I think after foundation course is done, then we should focus on this value addition, answer writing part, and everything. And sir, one more thing, like it's not just for first attempt students, but for like students who are in their third or fourth attempt. So this year I made one change in GS. First, I complete after prelims result, I completed a whole revision of whole syllabus around
Okay.
20 25 days, and then I started appearing for the test.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you have not given the test earlier?
No, sir. Like in this attempt, like in previous attempt, I used to give mock test just after the prelims result. Like prelims result came
Oh,
to
okay.
from tomorrow, I will start writing the test. But I
Okay.
think that didn't work for me very well in my
So you
last
first consolidate everything, revise everything,
revised
then jump into the
in simulation mode.
tests.
Yes, sir. I used to
Okay.
write 2 tests in a day and around 6 tests in 3 days. So GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, and optional 1 and optional 2.
Okay. So you give a lot of importance to tests, practice,
Yes, sir.
repeated writing, repeated revisions. That has been your strategy more or less.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Ankit, this process is not easy.
Yes, sir.
You began in 2019. Now it's 24, almost 4 5 years now.
Yes, sir.
How did you keep yourself motivated? Because you come from a good institution. You've done your engineering, mechanical engineering, good institution. You must be ambitious to see failures, not clearing prelims, they're not clearing mains, getting low marks in some papers. How
Yes,
did you keep your motivation going for 4 5 years of your preparation?
sir. There are many reasons for that. One, like when I started, I left my job. I was in a private sector for 2 years, so I knew what I was entering into. So
Okay.
that kept me motivated. Second, sir, family support was there. So and support from teachers and mentors were also there. So that was there. So third, like in every attempt, I was very close to clearing that cutoff. So in first attempt, prelims missed by 1 marks. In second mains 20 marks. Final cutoff 20 marks in third attempt. So I knew I was close. I just need to put some more efforts so that I can get into the list. So that was also one of the reason why I was motivated along all these years. And sir, fourth, I was seeing my friends getting selected every year. So that
Okay.
was also.
So the fact that you in your company of people who are doing well,
Yes,
that
sir.
also kept you motivated.
Yes, sir.
Would you recommend the students should work in a small group of 3 4 5 people, or should they prefer studying alone and on their own? What was your recommendation?
Sir, for like between prelims and mains, I used to completely isolate myself. I used to study alone. But after mains gets over, I used to call my friends, discuss strategies, discuss each and every question which came in mains and discuss their answers. So all those strategies and discussions also helped me a lot in my subsequent attempts.
Okay, so you should have some friends, but then be very focused about when you need their support and
Yes,
when
sir.
you don't need the support.
Yes,
In prelims and main, just to isolate yourself completely. That's
yes,
your
sir.
strategy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ankit, uh, what are the common mistakes that you think students are making these days? Because you belong to a category of students which are very different nowadays, particularly after COVID.
Yes, sir.
Those have started from 20 to 23 onwards, last 2 years. So
Yes,
do you think there's some difference in the approach that they have, which is not right, or which they can do better compared to what you are studying? What is your comparison there?
Sir, I have not met anyone like any new aspirant yet, but I can think of some of the like things which is different now from the previous years. One is that people are writing tests, but they are not writing tests within 3 hours. So
Okay.
that time limitation is very important. Second, sir, the sources have increased a lot in the market.
Yes. Yes.
So that becomes a very big issue when it comes to revision, and not just in case of mains, but also in case of prelims and interview. So in interview, we also get lot of current affairs material from the market. So it becomes very confusing which approach to take, which approach not to take. So that is there. And sir, third, I think uh, like people are, I think I'm not sure, but one should not underestimate the importance of hard work. That is still very much required. So when I was in Warren for my interview preparation for 1 week, I saw a very cultural change in the atmosphere of Warren, sir. When I was in 2019, I used to attend coaching and then directly go back to my room and like shut my door and study. I didn't used to go outside and all and like roam around. So
You
importance of,
find people socializing a bit more.
yes,
There
sir.
are cafes, there are roadside stalls, there are gossip corners. So you find that changing these days.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. That is a change, sir.
So now you have broached the topic. Ankit, how did you manage current affairs? How did you organize yourself in terms of sourcing current affairs? Which article to read, from what source? What was the strategy there?
Sir, in first two attempts, I used to read monthly magazines from coachings. Sir, in third attempt, I started focusing a lot on newspapers. So
Mhm.
I started reading two newspaper like before mains and two newspaper before interview also. For prelims, I used to read one newspaper. So also I started reading compilation instead of reading monthly magazine because I had very less time because I was stuck in the cycle. So I didn't have much time to read monthly magazines in my third and fourth attempt.
You used to wait for the entire year of 6 months, read a compilation, and be done with it. That ways?
Sir, for example, in case of mains, I stopped reading monthly magazines in my third attempt. But in second attempt, I used to read monthly magazines because I didn't have much time in my third attempt and fourth attempt. So I used to just go through the yearly compilation and add some points to my already made notes of GS and optional.
Would you? How should you study newspapers on a regular basis? What was your strategy? Did you read newspaper regular basis, or you did not do that as often?
Sir, I use like I'm reading newspaper in last 1.5 years regularly, sir. So
Every
I
day?
every day. So
Wow.
sir, after like for mains, I don't read Mint, but for interview, I read Mint and Indian Express.
Otherwise, what is the main source of news reading, article reading throughout the year?
Sir, Indian Express, specifically editorial and explained part, and
Okay.
The Hindu whole.
Express and Hindu were your main go-to sources, and the interview you switched towards Express and Live
Yes.
Mint or Mint magazine.
Sir, I used to prefer Indian Express for mains, Hindu for prelims, and Mint for interview.
Okay.
Yes.
One uncomfortable question for you, Ankit, if you can answer this. How do you think I may have helped you, or how do you think Edukemy has helped you in a preparation journey? You can be very forthright here, no pressure, but if you think we have contributed, maybe if you can tell the students and our viewers something about that.
Yes. Sir, in my third attempt, second mains, I remember I subscribed to some optional test series. So I was forced to leave it, and then I joined Edukemy test series, and I completed it properly. So I think that was one of the main reason I got 144 marks in paper two, which was one of the highest last year. And sir,
Yes.
This year also, I joined Edukemy test series, optional test series. I think which helped me to improve some of the areas where I was weak, especially in paper one. So I remember that the evaluation used to come after 7 or 8 days, and I used to complain. But when I used to see the feedbacks, they were very detailed. So I incorporated them in my real exam, and sir, you can see the result in paper one of geography option.
Yes, you have done very well. 141 and 140 to 81 is a very good mark. Yes.
And sir, in general, if I have to say, you used to say write answers, write lot of answers. So and you used to evaluate also individually for us in 2019 and 2020. So that gave me a strong foundation for answer writing, and that generated a lot of interest also. And I started innovating in a lot in my answers after that.
And although your marks is not as good in essays, but you
Yes,
also been part of our essays courses also.
yes, sir.
You have anything to add there? Our strategy, our method, and I hope you'll do well this year, maybe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sure you will rather.
So, sir, like first thing, in essay, I made a mistake of not brainstorming the second essay this year.
Oh,
Yes, sir. So I think that costed me like a lot in essay paper. Um, but sir, why I joined Edukemy for essay this year, because first of all, I was recommended by some of the top 50 rankers last year to join essay course. Second, sir, I didn't have like better structure to write essay. So when I joined you, you gave us framework to brainstorm and framework to write properly write essay and do value addition. So I think that has created a like strong foundation now for me in essay. So I can improve upon that in my next attempt.
my wishes to you, Ankit. Congratulations again. Though I'm still very keen to discuss something about your geography answer writing strategy. Or
Yes.
maybe we can, okay, if you can tell us briefly, how did you manage geography answer writing? What was your strategy? What helped you? What was that technique you used to score high marks? Because 280 is very good mark, 281.
Yes. Sir, in geography, I knew I was writing good answers, but the major problem I face in geography optional is time management. So in last three mains, I used to write physical geography section A part in 55 minutes, around 8 questions.
Okay.
So that used to cost me, and this has costed me this year also. Otherwise, I could have scored more in paper one and paper two both. So I think for answer writing, in first two attempt, I used to do open book answer writing, sir. I used to see the content and then I used to write the answer. And in the last 2 years, I've been focusing on, for example, there are sectional tests in Edukemy. So, for example, in first test, there is geomorphology, climatology, and oceanography. So, for 1 week, I used to practice PYQs, a lot of PYQs for these three topics. And then only I used to appear for these tests.
Okay. So you should do your practice first and then give the tests,
Yes.
not simply come and give the tests.
Yes.
And in the answers, how was your answer structured in general?
Sir, first 3-4 lines were introduction. So, and then there was a diagram or map. Then body part starts, and and I used to ensure that if it is a paper two, so there should be one case study, and that case study should also include a diagram. So one case study or one map or one diagram in each paper in
Okay.
paper two. And in paper one, I used to ensure that one, like in section A, there should be one diagram in each paper, and in section two, map can also be there, because in human geography, there we do not have lot of flow like diagrams, but flowcharts can also be included in section two.
Okay. A mix of diagrams, maps,
And
flow
case,
charts, and the
yes,
structure typically is introduction, then a diagram, then the body along with case studies, some
yes.
applications from India.
And in conclusion, I used to give Indian angle in paper one. And in paper 2, I used to mention government schemes, government initiatives for conclusion.
Oh, good. I think that's a good structure you have followed, and that's been paying for you. Fine, excellent. And uh, did you read textbooks also for geography optional?
So, sir, I was making this mistake in paper 1. I didn't used to, like, I read books in my first attempt. After that, I didn't touch book for paper 1 in second and third attempt. So last year I spoke to one of the mentors from Edukemy, and she said to me that you have to write little bookish language in paper 1, otherwise you won't get marks. So I went to the books again and I made some notes out of it, and it helped me in physical geography part this year.
So you are following books. That's
Uh,
something I always recommend.
yes, sir.
Without books, it's tough to consolidate the content and make it smart in terms of geography relevance. Okay.
Sir, and in paper 2 also, I referred Kuller last year for examples, for regional examples. Like I used to mention names of roads and villages also in some of my answers, which I found in Kuller book.
Yeah, it makes sense. You have
Yes.
regional maps along with references.
Yes.
Okay. Fine, Ankit. It was lovely talking to you.
Yes.
Knowing your strategies, my wishes to you. I'm sure you'll do better. Hopefully, the coming attempt should be your last attempt where you qualify and come in top
Yes.
10. You're capable of scoring, I'm sure. My wishes to you.
Thank you,
Anything you
sir.
want to tell our aspirants, our viewers, any message you want to give them from your side, Ankit?
Sir, I have already elaborated a lot. I think to summarize, I will say um, one needs hard work, that is for sure. Then strategy is very much required, and one should not hesitate to take help of mentors and teachers. That is very much required in this very tough competition, sir.
Fine. Thanks a lot, Ankit. My wishes to you.
Thank you.
Uh, Good luck from me and from Edukemi team and all our viewers here who are watching you. Thank you
Thank,
so much, Ankit.
thank you, sir.
ठीक है अंकित अंकित द फॉर्मल डिस्कशन इज डन और कुछ लगता है तुम्हें बोल सकते थे यू थिंक यू वांटेड टू ऐड समथिंग
Sir, not specifically, but case study in case studies, paper 2. Uh, I used to in test series also. I used to make tables and do like very analysis type of thing. Like I made in urban suburbanization question. I used to make Bangalore का map, core area show कर दिया, ये कर दिया, column बना दिया, traffic flow. So I used to go very minute into very minute details in case studies. I think that helped me last year. This year, time management was a very big issue for me, sir, in geography option. I think
पेपर इस बार लेंदी नहीं था लास्ट टाइम लेंदी था इस बार इट वाज नॉट एज लेंदी यू कुछ
not
और
as
मिस किया तुम
sir. One of the weakness I have that I never write full length test in geography option. I have never written it in my
इस बार
last.
लिखाऊंगा तुम्हें फिर बैठा के लिखाता हूँ मैं तुम्हें
Sir, I
ओके आई
write
विल डू
all the
दैट
sectional test, but I never, and that makes it difficult to choose questions in the real exam. Yes, sir.
इस बार
So,
लिखो फिर ठीक है
yes, sir.
मेक श्योर यू बी इन टच विद अस
Yes, sir.
इस बार आई एम प्लानिंग समथिंग अगेन डिफरेंट जस्ट तुम कह रहे हो ना हमने लास्ट टाइम तुम्हारे साथ किया था वी हैड प्रैक्टिस टेस्ट
Yes,
then
sir.
we used to have sectional tests okay
Yes, sir.
इस बार तुम करना do all the practice tests with
Yes,
me
sir.
and
Yes.
I'll suggest Ankit you join our geography ka GS sessions also
Okay, sir.
this time GS I'm going hardcore after this approach even essays में कराऊंगा मैं
Sir, I have one request, sir.
बोलो
Sir,
बच्चे
कोई कहीं भी कोई भी कोचिंग में ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल में दे डू नॉट प्रोवाइड फुल लेंथ टेस्ट लाइक बीच में लाइक एवरीवन गिव्स फुल लेंथ टेस्ट बिफोर मेंस 10
end
days
में
बिफोर मेंस so that becomes very problematic, sir. Like last year I researched everywhere, nobody was providing full length test in between.
that's because वो खत्म नहीं होता है तो
Yes, sir.
ठीक है let me plan तुमने कह दिया है तो let
Yes.
me plan if I can have some इनफैक्ट फॉर द ओल्ड टाइमर्स हम ये कर सकते हैं जो पहले
Yes,
मेंस
sir.
दे चुके हो एक बार
Yes,
then
sir.
you don't have to go the same process maybe give the tests थोड़ा
Yes, sir.
पहले से ठीक है तो दिल्ली में आके पढ़ाई करोगे या घर से ही करोगे आप
सर घर में ही
घर में
प्रिपेयर
ठीक है
करूंगा.
ऑनलाइन निकलना कोई दिक्कत नहीं एंड अंकित यू नीड एनीथिंग फ्रॉम मी लेट मी नो
Okay, sir.
Whatever support you need, you have my phone number, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Feel free to leave an SMS, leave a message. I'll call you back.
Okay, sir.
I'm very happy and very proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
My wishes to you. और आओ दिल्ली तो पक्का मिलके जाना मुझे.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
ठीक है?
Okay,
And my
sir.
wishes to you and your parents also. They also have a great, responsibility, and they have played a role in bringing you this far.
Yes, sir.
So convey my regards to them also.
Thank you, sir.
All the best. Thank you so much, Ankit.